Hey there, today we are talking about the 4 different types of vaccines. Hey there, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show. And I created this channel just so that I can talk about anything because my other channel is about technology, Tom's Tech Show. And it just seemed to make more sense to make a new channel to talk about things that really have absolutely nothing to do with technology or, the few movie reviews and TV show things that I do over there. So please head down and subscribe to this channel. It's going to be continuing on almost a daily basis, as much as I can put out there. More information is always good. That's what I say. Okay, so today we're looking at the count them, 4 different types of COVID vaccines. So on Healthcare IT News, there's several places that have this list, but here's just a list of them. So we have first type is the whole virus vaccine. Now this is in the what to know here. The whole virus vaccine uses a weakened or deactivated form of the pathogen that causes COVID-19. So you're getting the whole thing, but it's basically, unable to be spread and propagate in your body, but your body sees it and reacts to it and creates antibodies against it. So some of the ones that we know that are created in this way, I think they give, like the flu shots, I think they give it to pigs or something, and then they react. Maybe they pull these from where they get monoclonal antibodies, people who donate blood who have had it. I'm not really quite sure about that, but we get this from derived in the same way as hepatitis, polio, rabies. So polio, looking over here, number of annual wild poliovirus cases has declined by 99.9% worldwide. So that's, I would say, a pretty effective way to make a vaccine. So down here, so there are parts of the world that don't. So the lighter colors here around the world in this little chart here have completely eradicated polio. The darker parts are the ones that still have some polio. But the rest of it, United States, there's none. Canada, it's pretty good. Okay, so in 1988, that's where it was, here, this first graph. In 2020, all it is over here near India. So we're pretty good at eradicating polio. And these vaccines for polio are really good. So it would make sense to see that this is a really good way of making vaccines. Okay, we're going to skip number 2 for now. Okay, so number 3 here is non-replicating viral vector. So this is a type of vaccine, introduces a safe modified version of the virus known as the vector. So in the COVID-19, it's that spike protein that really, hits you hard when you get COVID. So if we get that vector, that certain part of the virus into you that causes the problem, then you should be able to, handle it better and all that. So you should have, antibodies that will easily fight off the main part of the virus. Now the rest of the part, now what may happen, of course, is if another part of the virus suddenly becomes the vector, if that vector switches, right, then perhaps it wouldn't be as effective if a variant has a new vector that switches, and it may not be as effective against that. So against, they would have to create a new version of it against the new vector. So that's, they're good for what it is. But, the other problem with these, the AstraZeneca and the Sputnik one, is that they're derived from HEK or HER, which is human embryo cells. And a lot of people, have a very huge exemption to that. And myself being one of them. So I would not get one of those because of that. If you don't have a problem with that, then these are obviously okay for you. The next one here is called protein subunit. So what we know about this, protein subunit vaccines contain purified pieces of a pathogen rather than the whole pathogen to trigger an immune response. It is thought that by restricting the immune system to the whole pathogen, the risk of side effects is minimized. So unlike the whole virus thing in number 1 here, the whole virus vaccine, the number 4 here, the protein subunit, they're just doing part of it. So instead of, you might not have as big a reaction, right? You're still going to develop an immune response, but you might not have as big of a reaction to it. So Novavax is improved in most countries. Seems to be, we've done this before. Hepatitis B, meningococcal disease, so meningitis, pneumococcal, so pneumonia, and shingles. All these are, so the shingles vaccine, I was looking at this one, in adults 50 to 69, Shingrix, 6-1 shingles vaccine is 97% effective, and Shingrix protection remained high. More than 85% of people 70 years or older after 4 years following vaccination still had protection. So it seems to hold pretty well, that kind of, vaccine. So that's good. Okay, so the last vaccine is, of course, the controversial one, which is these RNA or mRNA vaccines. So the what to know part here, since no other existing licensed or approved vaccines use this type of technology, mRNA variety could be mistaken for something completely new to healthcare. However, mRNA vaccines have been studied in the past for illnesses and diseases, including cytomegalovirus, influenza, rabies, and Zika. It's been studied, but has never been produced as a vaccine. Okay. Researchers have been studying this for many decades, and we know that a Dr. Malone was there to start studying these, even though he's kind of, a little iffy about it right now. So there are some challenges to it, but it's, and I think we've seen, there's one here also, the Johnson & Johnson one, which they don't list on this list. So there's Pfizer and the Moderna are there too. So it's very new. It's very controversial. I would prefer not to get one of these vaccines. But if you look on and the odd thing, so of all these types of vaccines, right, the very odd part of all this is the only ones that the FDA has approved are the mRNA vaccines. So if you want to get another normal type vaccine right now in the United States, you can't. So your choices are limited. They're trying. They want to mandate vaccines, but they're not giving you any choices, and that for me is a problem. I mean, it's come out that through Project Veritas and other things that most of these are derived from HEK, and that's not, that's a hard no. That's a hard pass for someone like me. So, hopefully they will start to approve some of these other ones. I know that down here, Novavax, this one on the bottom, number 4, has been submitted for approval. Hopefully that one will be. So then that might be something that people who are uncomfortable with that, with the HEK and HER being part of the virus, will be able to use that instead, something more normal, more that we've done before. So it just seems like they should ramp that up. If they want people to get vaccinated and give people choice, then moving away from these mRNA things might be a good idea, something more normal, right? So, very interesting that the only vaccine that the U.S. has approved are these mRNA ones, and I conspiracy theories aside, it's new. There's a lot of, problems that I keep reading and hearing videos about and everything else. So makes people very hesitant. And the fact that you now need, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, get your booster card, all your holes punched and get a free donut at the end, to start your new card just seems a little off to me, especially when things like, polio vaccine is 99.9% of polio has been eradicated, and nobody needs 12 booster shots of that. So let's move to that type of vaccine. And I think that would be more helpful. I mean, if you could see that the effectiveness of the whole virus type vaccine is amazing in something like polio, why wouldn't you want to use that kind of technology, that kind of methodology to create a vaccine for COVID? Then it comes down to the fact, does the United States really want to eradicate COVID, or do we want to keep you hyped up and, keep your anxiety up? These things we don't know. I mean, people on a one-to-one basis, I think, are honestly trying to help people. Government, I don't think so. I think they're trying to, more control you and keep you from doing, things that you want to do, and keep you in this heightened state of anxiety. So, if you haven't been vaccinated, of course, talk to your doctor. Find out what options are out there. Some of these are coming, to be approval soon. But we'll see. Hopefully they'll approve some of these and make other people who are, hesitant about, things, able to get a more normal type of vaccine. I think that's really the biggest thing that we can do right now to help people and to get people who want to be vaccinated. All right, well, thanks for watching this. If you have any questions or anything else you want to talk about, feel free to comment, like, share, subscribe this video, and subscribe to my channel. It's new, and we're working on getting new things going here. I'm a one-man band, so it's what I've got. So thanks for watching, checking it out. Stay safe.